And we are live. What's good, man? It's your man, DL Saint. Welcome. DL Saint, I really want to know podcast. How y'all feeling? Hope all is well. I know it was a long weekend, y'all. I know it was long. Trust me. I enjoyed it, though. I'm glad I'm here. Glad I'm here with y'all. Man. Give one more clap for the long weekend. You know what I mean? For the long weekend. Hey, as y'all know, I was in Miami over the weekend, over the Martin Luther King weekend. Fresh and Fit had their 1 million subscriber party. Shout out to Fresh and Myron and to the whole Fresh and Fit fam. Shout out to Justin Wilder, Donovan Sharp, 1090 Jake. Who else was down there? Bandman Kevo. Shout out to Slow Jams. Shout out to everyone who was down there just making it happen, man. We saw who was in the house? Christina was in the house, man. We saw Zena was in the house. Everyone was there. It was pretty cool. For those who are in the world, y'all know the names that I just mentioned. For those who are not in the world, just understand it was a very good event, yo. Very good event. And as an old dude, I was down there, any excuse to go to Miami, I take it, especially if you get, kind of dress up a little sporty. It wasn't formal, but I guess it was dressy for that world. You know what I mean? Like the red pill world, manosphere world isn't known for dressing up, I don't think. At least not the guys I be seeing. But everybody was putting on their finest and coming out having a good time. It was very cool, very chill. Brothers from all over the country were there, from as far west as California, as far north as Canada. You know what I mean? All points in between. And they had a good time. I was down there to network and have a good time, and man, mission accomplished. It worked out well. So yeah, we'll see just how well it worked out, man. Hopefully we'll see the fruits of our labor here soon. So I came back, and it was playoff time in NFL. So I missed most of the games. I know Miami gave Buffalo a run. They lost, they lost in a close game. I thought Miami was going to get blown out. I was wrong. I couldn't watch any of that. I was busy in Miami actually doing stuff for family. So then that was at the end of the trip. So it was Sunday. I wanted to get back home, but I had things I had to do, and I was kind of taking care of business, and I missed, I missed the game. But moving around Miami, just about every bar, every place there was a TV, people were sitting there watching that Miami game, and it got close. Like, shout out to the Dolphins, man. They almost did what they, They almost did what they were supposed to do. Shout out to them. But I didn't get to watch any of that. Just kind of watched it on Sports Center later. And I actually drove down. So it takes me a few hours to get, to drive down. It's about 3.5, 4 hours. I drove back. And again, I missed Minnesota. I missed all of the games except for Cincinnati, Baltimore. And, y'all know how I feel about my Bengals. There it is right there. Y'all know how I feel about my Bengals. I got home in time to watch Hubbard, and the Cincinnati Bengals defense goal line stands was able to, knock the ball away, kind of scoop it up and score. And Big Hubbard, I think he got like 94, 96-yard touchdown. And that changed the game. That put Cincinnati up by 7, and the game stayed that way to the end. Although Baltimore, the last play of the game, Baltimore was in the end zone this close to catching the ball. This close. So, and I did not want that game to go to overtime. Our division is tough. You're talking about the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals. You got to play each other twice, and then sometimes you have to play a third game, and with playoff and like first round of playoffs, something like that. I'm here to tell you, man, that division ain't no joke. You don't want to play them boys twice, let alone 3 times. So I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a nail biter, but we managed to pull through, and now we got to go see Buffalo, and hopefully we do our thing. So I watched, I got to watch a little bit of that game. And I got to watch the majority of the Tampa Bay Dallas game. Now, game started out pretty promising. It just like Dallas scored, and like the first couple offensive drives on both sides were kind of like 3 and outs, really couldn't get anything going. defenses on both sides were stifling. And then as Dallas went up 7, and at some point, Tom Brady was doing the Tom Brady thing. He drove his team right down into the red zone, pretty much right there, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, something like that. And he threw a pick, threw an interception, and that was pretty much it. Once I saw that, I'm like, I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be able to do anything tonight. And that's pretty much what happened. Kind of stopped watching the game. Like, this one's over. It was kind of, it was a game too. In the first quarter, it was looking tight. Like, okay, it's like, all right, he's going to work some magic, maybe, advance in the next round. But when he threw that pick in the end zone, it was over. And I want to say it's the first time he's done that ever. I want to say it's the first time he's done that, or at least that season. They had just thrown up a graphic about 86 trips to the red zone and no interceptions and X amount of touchdown passes and all that. And when he threw that pick, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a wrap. They got his number. That Dallas defense was zoned in, and that's what it was. It went the way it went. So the game was over, and we all know, like, Tom Brady, the greatest to ever do it, the GOAT of GOATs, all those championships, just being the money guy, a great person. Anyone who's ever met him told me, it's just, that the few people that have met him that I know have told me that he is a great dude, real cool cat, great man, all that. So what does he do now? Season's over. And if y'all recall, this particular football season cost him his wife, his marriage. So what does he do now? Right? That's the question. What does Tom Brady do now? Should he play another year? Right? You see what happened to DeMar Hamlin. You see how dangerous the sport is. There was a vicious injury during that Dallas game, and they had to strap someone to the board. It was one of the Tampa Bay defensive players, I believe it was. They had to strap him to a backboard, and be real cautious and load him up and get him out there and get him some further help. I don't remember the brother's name. I missed the play. I was looking at other things. I came back to the game, and they saw everyone just kind of circled around. I was like, oh no, you know what I mean? So football is a vicious sport. So we've seen what can happen. We've seen, like, the injuries, people getting limbs just ripped up and all that. It is a very vicious sport. It's challenging. In a weird way, it's a fulfilling sport to play. I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't played since high school, and I still miss it. It's a great game. It's a manly game. So, but you can get hurt. You can get hurt bad. You can get hurt permanently. So what does Tom Brady do? Does he come back because no one wants to walk away a loser. He lost in grand fashion. It wasn't like it was a close game. Like, they got beat. So, he won the championship. He won a Super Bowl in Tampa. It's like, why didn't he just ride off into the sunset? Then that would have been perfect. Like the mic drop and all that. Like, yo, I'm out. He didn't do that. He came back. It cost him his relationship. He has 2 kids, with his wife Giselle and, ex-wife Giselle, and she's a supermodel. And, everyone knows how that played out. We're going to talk about that more in a hot second. But does he come back one more year? Would you come back one more year? You know what I mean? Like, I think about it all the time, like, I would have been gone, bro, but I'm not the GOAT. That's a whole nother mentality. If he comes back another year, does he go to Tampa Bay? Does he go to another team? What does Tom Brady do? I wonder. So if anyone's watching this, it's like team replay or whatever. If you guys get here, in the chat or whatever, drop some comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'm wondering, what does he do? So that's if he comes back to the NFL. Now, he has all kind of offers waiting on him. There's supposed to be a really, really nice offer on the table. This for Tom Brady. Once he decides to end football, he could go right into commentating, and be a commentator and make a bunch of money doing that. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to coach or something like that, that would be an option. But I doubt if he would turn around immediately and start coaching at the NFL level. Probably have to do what Deion Sanders has done, start at the collegiate level or lower and work your way up. That takes even more time than just playing. So I doubt if that's on the table. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other deals. I mean, that's, it's Tom Brady's handsome guy. He has all the rings, all the championships. I think he's got 7 championships. So what does he do? So if he does walk away from football, there is a ton of money on the table. Tons of money, tons of clout, tons of fame. I mean, he can do whatever. Like, it's all there for him. But what should he do about his relationship? Right? What should he do about that? I mean, should he fix his relationship? Should he get back with his ex? So, like, what am I talking about here? Let's get into this article right here, just to catch everybody up on what's going on with Brady. And this is from Fox, one of Fox's FoxNews.com. Tom Brady's ex-wife, Gisele Bundchen, is recharging in Brazil after their divorce. And this was December 19th of 2022, last year, y'all. It's already 2023. Crazy. The NFL star and supermodel revealed their divorce was finalized in October. This was October of last year. So Gisele's living her best life on vacation following her highly publicized divorce from Tom Brady. Now, mind you, she's a supermodel. The supermodel is in Brazil with her and Brady's 2 children, Vivian 10 and Benjamin 13. So she got the kids, and she's in Brazil right now while Tom is still, Tom Brady was finishing up his season, still working. Gisele shared a series of photos on her Instagram with captions that read, "Recharging with my little ones in the country of my heart emoji." All right. So, and then they have some pictures. I guess they published some pictures from her Instagram. In one of the photos, Gisele is seen enjoying time at the beach in a leopard print swimsuit. And I'm just going to use her first name because I believe I'm pronouncing her last name incorrectly. So I'm going to stick to her first name. Gisele is clearly happy to be spending time with her children. She shared photos of Vivian and Benjamin hanging by the pool, as well as playing on what looks to be a playground-like structure. In one photo, the supermodel was seen having a sweet moment with her daughter as they cuddle up while eating. That's just a picture of her daughter curled up in her lap. I ain't gonna lie to you, I understand it's her life. Like, she's famous. Famous people take photos all the time like everyone else, but those photos get published. I don't know how I feel about having my kids in those photos, especially when they're young. But I guess it is what it is. It's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. I have a soon to be 14-year-old. Her birthday is tomorrow, and she'll be 14 tomorrow. And I got my private Instagram, like just my Instagram for my family. Yeah, there's pictures of my daughter on there, but on my public Instagram, you're not going to see many pictures of my kids. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. The 42-year-old also seems to get a few relaxing moments as she's seen meditating on a gray chair and smiling at the camera while making a heart shape with her hands in front of a beautiful sunset. And there's a couple pictures. Here's the big gray chair. Brazil's a beautiful country, man. You got that kind of bread. I mean, she's right here on the beach. This is actually a really good picture. And there she is meditating, you know what I mean? And then here she is, someone's taking a picture while she's making a heart emoji with her hands, and there's the sunset that they were talking about. And again, she's a supermodel. She's beautiful. She's 42. And this is, Gisele's new post comes shortly after she stepped out for her first red carpet event since her divorce from Brady was finalized. She's stunning in a gold gown when she attended the 60th anniversary dinner for jewelry store Vieira in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And she was solo. And that was December 12th. She went out by herself. This picture of her just, on the red carpet doing her thing. Again, a beautiful woman. Brady and Gisele officially announced their divorce in separate Instagram posts at the end of October. In recent days, my wife and I finalized our divorce from one another after 13 years of marriage, Brady wrote. We arrived at this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. We are blessed with beautiful and wonderful children who will continue to be the center of our world in every way. We will continue to work together as parents to always ensure they receive the love and attention they deserve. Okay. And this was an Instagram post that Tom Brady put out there October 2022. Giselle added, the decision to end a marriage is never easy, but we have grown apart. And while it is, of course, difficult to go through something like this, I feel blessed for the time we had together and only wish the best for Tom as always. So that was her response. I kindly ask that our privacy be respected during this sensitive time. Thank you. All right. So when you're mega stars, you're up there, top 1%ers, and you go through something like this, it's not private. It's gonna be public for the whole world's gonna go through it. People like me are gonna be sitting around talking about it on their Instagram. I mean, on their YouTube. So that's them, man. You kind of look at it and it's just, you kind of hate it for them, but it is what it is. As we all know, about 50% of marriages end in divorce. In second marriages, the percentage goes up. Third marriages go up even higher. It goes up for divorces, not being together. It is what it is. This all kind of fits in with the narrative. It fits with the numbers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback and supermodel first met through a friend at a wine bar in 2006 and were married 3 years later. So it seemed to work for a while. In February, Brady announced he was retiring from the NFL after 22 seasons. However, the Super Bowl winning quarterback announced he was not retiring after all just 40 days later. Giselle publicly expressed concern over Brady's decision to head back to the field. And this is pretty much where people say this is what caused them to break up. It had to be more than just this. It had to be. When this happened, I didn't cover it. People were talking about this all the time, on every platform. This could not be the only reason that they decided to split after all those years of marriage. This is just my personal take on it. This may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but there had to be more straws, a lot more straws. But it continues. Obviously, I have my concerns. This is a very violent sport, and I have my children, and I would like him to be more present, she told Elle Magazine. And this is going back to why they split up. They broke up. They kind of separated, but they weren't divorced. And the way she put it out there was more of a ultimatum: retire from football or else. And ladies, you never want to. Well, not just ladies, men and women out there. You don't want to give ultimatums. It just forces people to do generally that opposite. You know what I mean? If that person has any kind of backbone or whatever, you give an ultimatum, they're going to be, all right, well, you talking like that, forget you. Yeah, I said forget because YouTube doesn't like it when we use the grown-up words, and it's early in the day. So I'm trying to chill out on the bad words a little bit. Later on, when we have we're going to probably do another show later on today when I have guests on. It's going to be a different show, but I'm going to try to keep it clean. But when you give someone an ultimatum, that's generally what's going to happen, man. They're like, man, forget you. And that's no way to negotiate. That's no way to do the give and take. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to do this. So it seems that she gave the ultimatum and he was like, nah, I'm going to play. It was actually more to it. It's like she announced that he was retiring. He didn't. I think she let it slip in an interview or something like that. And he was forced to make it public that he wasn't or whatever was going on. And that, I think that's how that all started. But she had valid concerns and it goes on. I have definitely had those conversations with him over and over again. But ultimately, I feel that everyone has to make a decision that works for them. He needs to follow his joy too. So, like I said, I believe this is the straw that broke the camel's back. This isn't necessarily the reason that they divorced solely. I just refuse to believe that the sole reason that they divorced after all them years of marriage was simply because he wanted to play one more year of football. As a quarterback, as one of the most respected quarterbacks in the league, where, you know, even his ops, like even the top tier defensive guys, they're not trying to hurt Tom Brady. They're going to tackle him, but they're not trying to jack him up. They like him too much. They gonna sack him. They gonna stop him. They gonna block. They gonna intercept him, but they're not trying to hurt Tom Brady. But that was how it went down. That was how it went down. So, you know, one of those things is like, you know, should Tom Brady fix the relationship now? If let's say that he does retire, let's say he does walk away from football, should he attempt to fix his relationship with his beautiful ex-wife, the supermodel Giselle? Should he get back with her? And I say no, he shouldn't. And I'll tell you why. I mean, she's put her cards on the table. She already let you know, like, bro, I'm willing to leave you. If you don't do what I tell you to do, or if you know what I mean, or whatever, if we get into an argument or we have to negotiate something, and I don't get my way, I'm leaving you. That's pretty much what happened right here. Like, you can see it. Like, she's like, nah, I ain't gotta have you. Forget about for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, sickness and health. You know what I mean? Till death. Because who knows what their vows were, but those are generally the vows in most ceremonies. He wanted to play football one more year. It wasn't about the money. It was about his legacy, probably. Like, it was the fact that he's only got even if he came back next year, that'd be it. No football team would want him after that. I mean, your shelf life is your shelf life in the NFL. You can only play for so long. He's pretty much there. He's about maxed out. So even if he came back for one more season, even if, you know, it would more than likely be his last. That's it. They're not going to let him play until he's in his 60s. Come on, man. That's the NFL. It's a young man's game. So she walked on that. She walked like, nah, bro. And that, you know, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. In every relationship, the person with the leverage is the person who's willing to walk away. Obviously, in this relationship, that person is Giselle. She's willing to walk away. We got Wonderful 34 in the house. What's good, fam? What's good? Good to see you, man. Hope you had a good, long weekend. Really good to see you, bro. Really good. Yeah, man, down in Miami, had a good old time, man. Now I'm back, halfway recovered. You know, it takes me 3 days to recover from a trip like that. You know what I mean? I'm old now, y'all. I can't bounce back like I used to, but I do bounce back eventually. So, so it's good to see you as always, brother. Thanks for coming through. Wonderful 34 up in the peaks. You know what I mean? And, you know, with YouTube, if you disappear for a few days, man, it takes a while to let everyone know you're back. So I'm going to be going hard. I'm going to be, you know, doing probably a couple videos a day. I'm going to be putting up those shorts. I'm going to be like creating shorts, and I'm going to be making shorts from the YouTube content I already have out there. So y'all going to see a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back to the grind. But yeah, I don't think that Tom Brady should pursue his ex-wife. I think that relationship is done. The marriage is obviously over, legally over, you know, emotionally over, spiritually over. However, it's done. She walked away. She got the kids. I'm pretty sure that he's going to get, you know, I'm pretty sure he has great visitation, and whatever they agreed on included really good visitation with the kids. The kids are young. They're tweens, like young teens. I think it's 11 and 13, they said in the article. It's going to be hard on those. It's going to be hard on those kids, man. It's going to be hard on those kids. So hard. And that's, you know, divorce is a grown-up business, right? There's legal stuff going on when people get married, but, you know, the children pay a price too. They're collateral damage when this goes on. It sounds like whatever they did was amicable. That's how you pronounce that word, amicable. And they were able, because they're both bazillionaires, and they were able to set it up. This money isn't a problem. It was all about probably timing and who's going to have them where, and at this villa or that mansion or this, that, and it. How they going to get transferred back and forth? Well, we'll fly them on my jet, and then they'll come back on your jet. They got to figure out all that. Again, grown-up business. But the kids suffer. The kids just want mom and dad right there. That's what they want. They want to be able to come in the house and mom and dad's there, especially when they spent the first 11 to 13 years of their life, and that's what they had for the most part. But when you really delve into it, when you're dealing with superstars, mom might be off doing a photo shoot, dad might be off doing, practice camp or whatever. But for the most part, mom and dad were home. That's what kids want, man. They want to be able to come home to mom and dad. So that's over, right? And that's something, again, Giselle had to think about. Like, okay, I'm gonna end this relationship over him playing one more year. The season's over. He began the season, they split and had a divorce before the season was over. Look how fast that was. I mean, it just, wow, you couldn't wait. You couldn't let him just play that last season. Like, all right, bro, play this season. This is the last season. Now, again, this is just somebody from the outside looking in. I ain't involved in their life. We don't know. Maybe that conversation was had. Maybe the Super Bowl, when they had the run, maybe that was the time, like, this is it. This is the last one, baby. I'm going to do this. Boom. And then he won. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go back for one more. And then she was like, all right, that's it. Maybe that happened. Oh, I don't know. I hope that's the case. But she's like, look, you said this before. We've been talking about this for a year. You just won. You got another ring. Quit. And I'm going to do one more. You can't tell me nothing. I'm going to do one more. All right, bye, I'm leaving. Maybe it went down like that. You know what I mean? We got Dust on the House, Scam Likely. Why didn't he retire and put his family first? Yeah, don't know. I'm running through that scenario now. Like, maybe they had an agreement, and maybe Tom Brady did break the agreement by going in the final, doing this last season. And I get where you're coming from, Brother Dusto, but my thing is, you know what I mean? Like, the season's over now. The divorce happened so fast that they were able to get it done during the season. I've been in family court for 5 years dealing with what I'm dealing with. They get it done in a matter of months. Crazy. Now, I wasn't married, and I never will be married, y'all. It's going on the record now. Never been married, and I never will be married. I'm not going to do it. And what I mean by that, I will never be married under U.S. laws or any first world country laws. I won't do it. Not U.S., not U.K., not Canada, not Australia. I won't do it. You know what I mean? Not Europe, not European laws. I won't do it. France or Spain, Germany, I won't do it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense for me, that part. I don't mind meeting someone and spending the rest of my life, you know what I mean? Like I probably got, 30 years, 40 tops. 40 tops with the help of medicine and robotics. Maybe I can last 40 years. That's it. Right? I'm not gonna do that, under some sort of legal contract that could be broken at any moment and stand to lose whatever I have, at least half of what I have, if not more, like homes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not gonna get married. But they were married, they had the children, they were raising their kids. Then this thing came up, one more year, and Brother Dusto's right. Like, why didn't he retire and put his family first? He wanted to do one more year, I guess. Like I said, he knows it's a shelf life. But now that year's over. He did one more year, made the playoffs with a losing record, right? And get beat up on pretty good in the first round of the playoffs. And they had home field advantage. So, does it make sense to come back one more year? We don't know. That's what we're talking about. Wonderful 34. When you leave and you are not ready, you tend to regret it in the long run, and that's a bad feeling. Yeah, you talking. Yeah, I hear you there. But when you weigh that out with the cost of losing your wife and family, I don't know. So the question is this, fellas: should he try to patch up things and get his family back together? They don't have to remarry, but should he attempt to reinsert himself back into his family's life because they're wealthy enough to do it? And they can still do grown-up things separately, the two of them. Like, they don't have to, they don't have to be intimate and all that. They can just be there for the kids. Should he do that? Because, the question was, should he fix the relationship? Should he get back with his ex? I said, no, he shouldn't get back with her. Like, make, like grown-up stuff that get them back together. But I do believe, if possible, like if he were to reinsert himself into his family, for his kids to be there with his wife, with his ex-wife, his kids in the same house, I think that would be good. But I guess the flip side to that is children can understand when things are different with mom and dad. So they'll know that mom and dad, they're not cuddling. Mom and dad ain't doing what they used to do before. Maybe mom and dad don't sleep in the same room. I wonder, that would probably be more detrimental to the kids. I don't know. That's a tough one right there. But the relationship's over. She walked away. He didn't want it, but he wasn't willing to walk away from football to save his marriage and to save, that relationship, that nuclear family, and she left him. So, man, this is a tough one, bro. And this is for all the people out there, like a lot of guys in the manosphere and stuff like that. They, they say what they say about relationships, and they're like, "Wow, look at Tom Brady. And if it could happen to Tom Brady, it's certainly what happened to me." You know what I mean? He's the most manly man on the planet, and his woman just left him. But I'm telling you, the one thing I do agree with when when you talk about manosphere stuff, it's gonna be harder for Giselle, the supermodel, to find another Tom Brady. It's gonna be extremely difficult to do that. And she's still beautiful. She's beautiful, but she's 41. So the guys, the top tier guys, they'll have fun with her. Like, they'll, be intimate and kick it and go out and be seen with her. But I don't know if they would necessarily wife her. And, a lot of people will say, well, maybe she's not looking to be no one's wife. Maybe we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Because one of the first stories to hit after they split up, before the divorce, she was messing around or dating or seeing the jiu-jitsu instructor. Like, the guy who would come and teach the kids judo, MMA, she was stepping out with that guy right away. And that was, okay, so this is the dude. You leaving, you're split up with Tom Brady, so you're messing with this guy. That didn't just start. You feel me? Like, it didn't just start the day like, oh, Tom's going back to football. Woe is me, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. And there he is. She starts crying on his shoulder. Nah, they might have been rolling. You know what I mean? Supposed to be like rolling in the gym, in the dojo, teaching her how to roll and do jiu-jitsu, but they might have been rolling doing something else. You know what I mean? Might be. Scam likely. Brother Dusto, let's be real. The brainwashed red slant black pill men are not for relationships anyway. You'd be surprised, bro. Most of the guys that I know in that space, like the black pill guys, they're different, man. They're in a different world. Those dudes, they haven't gotten over some sort of hurt. Like, there's a bitterness there that I don't quite understand with the black pill guys. Don't get the black pill guys confused with the men going their own way movement. You got those guys, the MGTOW guys. Those are the guys that are like, they're just stepping off to the side and letting things play out. They're sitting off to the side and waiting and watching. The MGTOW guys are pretty much waiting for laws to change in family court before they engage with women, because they don't want to lose everything that they've worked for, even half. They don't want to do that. They don't want to get wrecked in family court. So the MGTOW guys are kind of like standing off to the side. And let's talk about the red pill guys. The red pill guys, and I would even say this about the MGTOW guys, they want a relationship with a woman. That's all they want. This is being 100. Of course, it starts off with them wanting to, smash and this and that. Like, they want to smash women and, be intimate and get to the point where they're good at, quote unquote, womanizing, but they don't want to be womanizers for life. What they want is a woman. They want a woman to come home to. They want, and a lot of these guys, even knowing the family law system, a lot of these guys will still marry, which the MGTOW guys won't, but the red pill guys will. The black pill dudes, something different. put them off way over here to the side. They something different. But the MGTOW guys and the red pill guys, what they want is a woman. And how do I know this? Just when you talk to these guys, when you listen to these guys, when they call into Rich Cooper or when they call into Rollo Tomasi and Michael Sertan, when they call in to talk, when they talk to Myron and Fresh, not just on the show, but like when Myron and Fresh were doing their Patreon, they would do monthly Zoom calls. Guys would call in on there and ask a whole bunch of questions about how do I get this woman? How do I keep this woman? How do I do, like these guys want a woman. They don't want a bunch of women. These guys aren't, like I said, they're not trying to be players. If you go back and watch my videos on being a player, most men aren't players. Players are a very rare breed. These guys that I'm talking about, these red pill guys, are looking for game. They want enough game so they can get a woman's attention. Once they get her attention, they want to incorporate her in their life. So I'm being 100 with you, bro. They do want women. They just don't like the way society is in the moment. You know what I mean? Like the red pill guys are like, wow, now that I got some game and I can see what's really going on, they start to realize like a lot of these women aren't really worth taking that chance on because they want to be married. They want a woman they can trust. They want to start a family. This is what most of these dudes in that space, in the manosphere space, want. I've seen it. Just talking to these dudes. Scam Likely, MGTOW, miserable gays, trauma over women, traumatized on women. Yeah, man, like I said, man, like the men going their own way movement, I'm not one of those dudes, but I get where they're coming from. They don't like the way that the laws are set up. They don't like the way the family court system is set up. They don't like the numbers. They don't like the fact that 90% of the time women get primary custody over children. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that, over like 70% of the time men are paying child support to women. When men lose their home in the situation when there are breakups and stuff like that, this is what they don't like. They understand it is difficult. They also understand that the laws are starting to slowly change. There's a slow shift. The laws are starting to catch up with where we are as a society. So they're just going their own way. They're just stepping back, right? So those are the MGTOW guys, and you got a variant under MGTOW where you have Coach Greg Adams, that free agent lifestyle thing that's going on where he's kind of like, hey man, just go out here and do you. Be safe, protect yourself. There's all this going on, right? But the vast majority of guys, I would say, will fit into that red pill world. They're becoming unplugged. They understand what's going on. These guys, they all want a woman. Some of the most hardcore red pill guys I've come across in this space. As soon as they get a woman, like they learn a little bit of game, you know what I mean? They understand how women generally mate select and what they're doing, and they're able to counter or they're able to get the woman's attention or whatever it is. They get the woman. They run away from the red pill world so fast, they forget all that stuff because they got what they wanted. They want a woman. And, I'm like, hey, man, I tell those guys, like, hey, bro, good for you. Good for you. Just don't forget how the system is set up. If this does not work out for you, it's not her fault. It's your fault. Just keep that in mind. Because a lot of these guys that meet a woman and within a year, like months, we're talking about 3 to 6 months, they're like moving, like the woman moving in with them and everything. Like you have not had time to properly vet that human. You have no idea what that human's about. And you bringing them into your space. Be careful with that. I've done that before. So, that's what I'm seeing in this red pill world. That's what I'm seeing in the manosphere, bro. Like these guys, those bottom 80% dudes, they just want a woman in their life. They want a woman. And they're doing everything they can to get one. So that's why the mentoring thing, the coaching thing, all that's big over there. These dudes are paying hard-earned cash to learn how to become attractive to a woman. And fellas, if you out there thinking about paying, you don't have to pay for anything. Really, you just pay attention. You can read on your own, watch all this free content. There's tons of free content out there that'll help you out. But if you're intent on paying, there are people out there who do that sort of stuff. They'll take your money. Be careful who you pay. Look out for the pickup artists. Be careful of them dudes. Look out for the passport bros. right? Be careful with them dudes, right? That is absolutely a cheat code, man. You can grab your passport, get on the plane, and go to Taiwan, or correction. You can go to the Philippines. You can go to you can go to Thailand, to the Philippines, to Colombia. You can go to Europe, Eastern Europe, wherever you want to go. It is a cheat code. You can go with a guy who knows how to break the ice, a guy who's good at cold approach. You can pay that dude a bunch of money, and he could break the ice for you and introduce you to some women, and boom, there you go. You'll feel, okay, cheat code, mission accomplished. But if you don't understand how to see the red flags, if you don't understand how to properly vet, if you don't have the people around you that can help you vet, you're going to get wrecked, bro. You're going to get wrecked. So be careful who you pay. Be real careful who you pay. I know, it's like, well, who would you pay, Uncle? So I'm like, listen, I've had people come to me. I have, quote unquote, mentored and coached. I have some clients. The way I do it is way different. I go with you and I watch you. When I coach, I really coach. It's like I'm in the game watching you coach and watching you do your thing, and you'll run off the first woman and I'll sit there and tell you what you did wrong, have you explain to me what you were trying to do, and then I'll give you subtle suggestions, subtle pointers on how to do the next thing. I was talking to a friend on this Miami trip, gave him some free game. It's like this guy knows how to cold approach. He knows how to walk up. He's brave, shorter dude, but he's in shape. You know what I mean? Handsome fella. He knows he can get the women talking to him. But I'm like, oh, so what's your problem? He's like, man, I don't know how to escalate. I don't know how to, get the touchy-feely stuff going on. And I, said, well, give me an example. How do you do it? And I set the stage. Okay, you're at this point. What do you do next? And he told me what he was doing. I'm like, oh, no, bro, you can't do that. That's going to run him off. He was like, it does. It runs him off. It makes it awkward. So I gave him some advice, a better way of stepping your way into the, touchy-feely portion, like how to initiate the contact. I'm not talking about sex, y'all. I'm talking about just the playfulness, how to escalate your flirtatiousness. How do you do it? I kind of gave him a couple examples and came back to me like later on that night. He was like, that works. I'm like, I know it works, bro. You know what I mean? I know it works. So, and it's not a pickup artistry chick or anything like that. It's just basic observation of human nature and people escalating, in a flirtatious manner. That's all it is. So if you want to pay somebody, you can pay your Uncle Saint. I'll show you some things. I'll be out there with you in the real world. I don't do Zoom calls. I don't do anything like that. We'll pick a city. We'll go to the city. And then we'll go into some different situations. We'll go into a cafe. We'll go into a bar. We'll go into a park. We'll go into the mall. We'll go into these different situations, and I'll watch you do your thing. And I'll, just like a coach on the sidelines with the headset on, I'll watch you and I'll show you what you're doing wrong. It's all practice, bro. We're taking swings, and we'll talk about your dress. We'll talk about, your cologne. We'll talk about your style. We'll talk about haircuts and beards and all that stuff. If you're looking for it, holler at Uncle Saint. Shoot me a Instagram, a DM on my Instagram is scrolling below. I will square you away. We got Brother Dusto. MGTOW can't get women. They are miserable and they have bad energy. No, not all of them. Those are the ones. There are guys out there. There are MGTOW guys out there who are just that. And most of those dudes wound up in the black pill community. You know what I mean? The world's against me, woe is me, I can't get a woman, I'm too short, or I don't have the right jawline, or I'm not a chat. Those guys exist. They exist. And they make the most noise so they get the most attention, but they're not representative of the MGTOW world. Most of the MGTOW guys, most of the guys who decided to go their own way, they have game. They understand the game. They're sick of playing the game. They know that they can't win in the end. Right, most of the MGTOW guys they were looking for wives. They were running rotations. They know how to get at women. Most of the look at Joker from Better Bachelor. Go check out Joker's content on Better Bachelor. That's a MGTOW guy who has game. He knows what he's doing. He's a short man. He's in shape. He knows all the tricks. Go back and watch his content. He shows you all the ways that he's overcome the natural shortcomings that he was dealt, but he can still get on women. He was on Fresh and Fit. He was on one of the late night shows with the women. He could get on women. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to to talk. He has game. But he's tired of running the game, and he's sick of the end game. You get married, it doesn't work. For whatever reason, she breaks the contract, she get divorced, and you get wrecked. That's the end game. And men are just getting crushed. So the MGTOW guys are like, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like Rich Cooper says, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Shout out to Rich Cooper over there, Entrepreneurs in Cars. And that's another dude who's very successful, went through a divorce, got wrecked, found the red pill, you know what I mean? Ate the meat, spit out the bones, got back on his mission, and he's doing extremely well now. And he has a woman that's in his life, but she's on his terms. And if she doesn't hold up her end, he'll let her go. So this is what it is. Sister Candace is in the house. What's good, love? It's all good. You're never late. You always when you get here, it's always on time. Can't wait to meet you, sister. Sister, that 1 million party was amazing. I wish you and your husband could have been there. You would have really enjoyed it. It was, man, that party was really nice. I'm going to talk to Myron and Fresh this week, and I'm going to suggest that they do at least 2 parties a year, because that party, I'm telling you, that party was really nice. There were guys who brought their girlfriends. Of course, there were tons of single women there. They got in for free. There were tons of just young, beautiful women. And it was funny, as I was working a room, most of the women didn't even know what the event was about. They just knew they'd go to a free party and they had to get dressed up, and they did. They were looking very elegant indeed. I didn't see many girls dressed up in 304 uniforms. Saw a couple. Now, that's not to say that there weren't 304s in the room. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everyone was dressed in an elegant uniform. You know what I mean? They were all dressed as like they were ladies. Lords and ladies, let's say. But I know for a fact there was some 304s and gowns in there, bro, because once the party really got loose, yeah, you got to see what it was. But I didn't see too many 304 uniforms in there. But there were a lot of couples. Really surprised me. There were a lot of couples. There were more than a handful of married people there. Some brought their wives, some didn't. It was really cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was pleasantly surprised. It was not the nightclub. And afterwards, they had an after hours after the party. They went to Vendome. I didn't go. Uncle Saint was way too tired. I took my team back to the telly and I went to bed. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I had a team with me and we like, let's go back to the telly. And they were like changing and about to go to Vendome. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. So they just left and did whatever they did. I got my old butt in bed. But Sister Candace, you really would have enjoyed it. And if they do another one, man, we got to get you and your husband down there. We really do. I'm gonna bug them. I'm gonna bug Myron and Fresh like, yo, y'all should do another one. That party was amazing. Myron and Fresh both drank in celebration. That's the first time I've seen Fresh drink in over a year. Same with Myron. You know what I mean? And they were drinking and partying and having a good time. It was cool. It was really cool. Donovan Sharp was there. Jay Wilder was there. You know what I mean? Everybody it's all on YouTube. People are posting all kind of stuff. I'm waiting for my photographer to hit me up with the videos and stuff like that. We're working on some intros and outros for this platform. All that came from footage from that weekend. The free events were nice. It was good time, sister. I wish you'd have been there. I really do. But right now we were talking, you know what? We got like another 10 minutes or so. Let me drop the link in case brother Dusto, man, if you want to come up, man, I'm dropping the link right now. If you want to come up, we could talk about the MGTOW stuff. We could talk about that, man. I'm getting a lot of messages. People are hitting me up. They don't know I'm on. They hit me up. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to look into that later. We're almost done here. I'll catch up with those calls in a minute. But yeah, hey, Brother Dusto, if you want to pop up, man. Yeah, there you go, man. Let's talk about the MGTOW stuff, bro, for a second. Let's talk about that. You know what I mean? And this is my partner in crime out here in the Tampa area, y'all. Scam Likely, a.k.a. Dusto's in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's good? What's going on?
Nothing, man. Same old same. Just chilling. Waiting for Friday. You know where I'm going Friday.
Yeah, I might go out there.
You should be there, bro.
Don't play. I'll go out there and end up falling asleep.
Yeah, I know, man. Make sure you get your rest, get your nap in early on Friday, man, so you can make it down, bro. So, it's Sister Candace saying, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. It was a good time, sis. You should. I mean, for real, if they do another one, yeah, you and your husband should definitely make y'all way down. Only is the weather. It got cold, man. We had a cold front moving through Florida. Boy, it was cold. It was colder up here. Boy, it was cold down there in Miami, man. It was, woo, and we were on a boat. So, but it was enclosed and all that. It was really nice. It was really nice. So look, man, we're talking about Tom Brady, bro. So he's done. First of all, you think he's gonna come back? Think he's gonna do one more season?
I don't get why he's still playing to begin with.
He's honest. The GOAT of GOATs, bro. He can. I mean, he's still got the arm strength. I mean, he's never been mobile. It's not like it's not like he can't run anymore. He never could run. So
yeah, I can't knock somebody wanting to play, but I don't know. I don't talk that much about celebrities and marriage because at the end of the day, we don't know what's really going on.
Facts.
Especially, you know how Hollywood works. Like I said, you don't know what's really going on. But then, like, some celebrities are people that I know, or people who I know who know people first, like direct. What you hear is usually ain't but 30, 40, 50% of the story because people don't know that these are regular people. But not talking about you, but just in general, like in these spaces, people pushing the narrative, they always got to go to a celebrity. And you can bend that story to make it say anything, to be honest, because who knows?
You sure can. You sure can. And with this, it was just because they played that game, they got beat pretty good. I did a real quick, like a 1 minute little clip thing, and I was like, hey, what does he do next? So, and I get where you're coming from with celebrities, because I mean, we both would agree that the fact that he went one more season was not the sole reason she decided to do what she decided to do. There had to be more. Like I said today, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but there was a bunch of straws on that back of the camel.
Yeah, that was what was pitched to me. Was a big deal about him playing another season, and he said that he wasn't going to play. I'm a person. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Or if I go against what it is I say, I got a damn good reason for it. And if it's at the point where it's compromising your marriage, it ain't like there was something out there on that football field waiting on it. I mean, really? You 40-something years. Come on. Hang it up. Ain't nothing there for it. That's just my opinion now. But I don't know what's going on in that household.
Right. And just based on what limited knowledge we have about what's really going on with that, it makes sense to me. And like I said, you got two alpha types. You got an alpha male, you got an alpha female. And like I said, in all relationships, the person who's willing to walk away is the person who holds all the leverage. And it looks like she was the one that was like, all right, then you go out there in that field, we leave it. And that, is what happened, maybe.
I don't believe in leverage in the way that they push leverage. I don't believe in it.
I do. And go ahead.
The way that it's being sold. I understand men and women think different, but they act like men, they act like there's an auction when it comes to men. Excuse me, sir, how tall are you? I'm 5'11". Okay, how much do you weigh? 215. How much your body mass? Oh, you're in shape. Okay, let's note that. How much do you make? 76,000. Okay. 31 years old. Second floor, go to the right. Ashley will be waiting for you. She's 31. She's kind of fit, slight femininity, but willing to build with you. That's what people are actually expecting, and that's not how this works.
Hey, bro, I know you're joking, but if that was the way that this whole thing works, and you would make it real difficult to get divorced, like painful. We really would, man. Like that would work. I mean, that would be the cheat code right there. Like that would fix it all right there.
I think you know what I mean. Getting divorced, people say it's okay. I'm not a fan of the system, but my view is this: a woman wants to be there or she doesn't. There's people who want marriage. I want marriage. I want the best woman. I want the woman that are up here somewhere. And every day I do whatever I can to make that space better for them, for that woman to come into. Um, Open door policy. If she doesn't want to be there, she won't anyway. She must leave the front door open. The system, there's things you can do to protect yourself within reason. If the system is the big fear. But if she's already married to the government, you'll know it in how she talks and how she moves. Um, at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is the women that I meet, I'm a better option than the government. The women who go to the government, they lose. That's how it is. They go out there and they lose. So somehow in the vetting in the 6 months, 12 months, however long, if I can't convince them that I'm better than the government, because I already got to convince her I'm better than 90% of the men out here. The type of woman that I want, men of all races, all ages, all income brackets want them same women. So how I can't teach you that I'm better than the government?
Well, I mean, let me jump in right there about that last little bit you said about the men. I was with you 100% on everything except for that last little part right there. I would say men are wanting what they can get, more or less what they qualify for. Men aren't delusional in that sense. They know, like, they'll shoot their shot at, the dime. But if the dude is short and fat, whatever, he pretty much knows he's not gonna get that. He's just gonna
what type of men we talking about?
All men. All men understand where they are on the spectrum. So when the bottom 80 guys, if you got a guy who's like, he has a little bit of game or whatever, he can hold a conversation with a beautiful woman, but he'll know right away she's not into him. Now, do all men want the best? Absolutely. But I think unlike women, I think the guys, I would love to have a 10, but they'll be cool with a 5. Mind y'all, 5 is average. 5 is a woman who is the average woman, average good looks. That's not an ugly woman. A 5 is just average woman. Put a little makeup on or whatever, she's cool. Dudes would be cool with that. Women will never, I can't say never, but most women will not be cool with 5. Even if she's a 5 or a 4, she's going to want 7, 8, 9. And that's where I push back with you just a little bit there.
I say, okay. I say there's classes of women, just like there's classes of dudes. Top 10% women qualify to be married. And that's being lucky saying there's 10% of them. Well, I'll say 10% because there are some that are married. And they happen to they were single at a point. So top 10% women qualify for marriage. There's another 20% that can go, that are moldable. Some on the bottom end moldable, which you got to be Mr. Charisma to get them. Or some of them are, there's a scale of moldability within that next 20%. The other 70%, you're wasting your time. They're out of control. Or they're just unqualified, overweight, 3 kids, and just whatever. A lot of men spend their time. They won't approach the top 10%. Their attitudes, whatever, don't qualify them. They get ragdolled in the other 20%. And then they spend their time chasing the very woman that they don't want nothing to do with anyway. Some of them is because of confidence. They don't think they can get anything better. Some of them is because they just delusional. Someone's because their energy bad. Like, I don't know, the MGTOW that I see coming across in the people in this space, they miserable. They just angry. And I'm like, well, dang, I see why you ain't getting no ladies.
Yeah, it's a ton of MGTOW guys out there. Like I was saying in the chat, like when you were saying that, most those guys you hear about, those angry dudes, those dudes are closer to the black pill world. Like the MGTOW guys that I know, they're quiet, man. They're like, hey man, it is what it is. I understand the rules of the game and I don't want to play. Those are the true MGTOW guys. They're just sitting back. Like, as soon as these rules change, I'll re-engage. And they know how to get women. I know the guys you're talking about. Like, I don't know exactly who they are, but I know that mentality. And I agree with you. There's some better dudes out there. Yeah. And they make the most noise.
Okay. Like red pill here. Like red pill, there's like light red and there's dark red. Light red, I can understand. Dark red, I can't work with. 2 years, they'll be black pill. A lot of them are voluntary, don't know it, but them themselves are putting their minds and set to go ahead and be black pill. Like, dudes never even babysat, and they worried about child support. dude, why are you worried about something? You ain't even got there yet. You ain't got the girl number. You talking about child support. Or dudes talking the system take half. You ain't got no money. Or there's things you can do to somewhat to protect yourself, but high risk, high reward. They're automatically thinking all the negative and the man's out to get me. And I'm like, somebody over there getting married. Somebody over there got a sexy woman. Somebody over there got another sexy one. Somebody there about to get one. Why not try to be one of, at least put the best effort to be one of them dudes before automatically shooting it down and just, oh, well, these women out here. Okay, what about the women over there? Like, have you tried doing something different? Go to church parking lot. Go downtown in the daytime. Just something other than the very things that they complain about. But they complain about the women, and then they go do the same thing and go approach the same women that do the same thing. Dudes talking about the system and child, but they're dating baby mamas. Come on, man.
Right. And man, here's the thing. Like these dudes, like if again, like the way I look at the red pill, I don't give it light red, dark red, and all that. I don't do all that. Either you're truly unplugged or you're not. That's the way I look at it. Do you truly understand what's going on? Do you see the code or don't you? And I agree with you. There's a lot of guys, they don't see the code. And those guys, those very guys you're talking about, or the ones that I'm talking about, these are the guys that just want a girlfriend. They want someone home. And they talk all this craziness because they're not successful. You know what I mean? Like the stuff about, you dating baby mamas. Like, bro, you dating a baby mama, you done fell in love with her. Now you're doing the exact thing that these people have been telling you not to do, right? Because you leave the red pill world behind. 2 years down the road, you get wrecked. You know what I mean?
And get a baby mama, get the best one. I mean, I'm not saying it's not all baby mamas, not all women with children are bad. But showing up, going to the club, she met you in the first conversation on the first date was how sorry her baby daddy is and he won't pay child support. That's a red flag. And what do they do? Yep. Hit it raw 3 days later. Dude.
3 days later, hit it raw that night. What were you talking about? 3 days later, she know what she doing. She done pegged this dude. This guy's in there flashing his money or whatever. Like, okay, you got to telling her, yeah, I work for IBM. I work for, oh, really? Oh, worse yet, I work for the feds, right? You know what I mean? I got me a government job. Oh, yeah, you get up in here tonight, bro. Shoot this club up. You know what I mean? So though, and again, these guys are like, I'm red pill. No, they're misrepresentative of the red pill. It's like you didn't learn nothing. Like if you're going, that's fine. You're going to be with a woman like that's fine. Just my thing is, you understand what you're getting yourself into, period. And don't cry about it if it doesn't work. That's it. If you're a guy out there, you meet the perfect woman and let's say she has a child and she's a widow. All right. I can see engaging with that woman, right? I can see starting a relationship, but I also understand that we do this and we get married 7 years later. It doesn't work. And let's say the kid was like 4. Now the kid's 11. It didn't work. We get divorced. I could be on the hook to pay child support for that child that was not my biological child. To me, that's what red pill is. Just understand it could happen. If it does happen, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
I believe in protecting yourself and having conversations early. If you don't want to give up your house, if you have a house and you don't want to give it up, while you're dating, let her know. Hey, we can date, but look, if we ever get married, we're going to have to sit down and make some agreement. We have to talk. She got kids, you don't? Hey, have some conversation. Now, you can't protect yourself 100%. Let's be real. But you can do something to try to level out the playing field.
Just mitigate the risk.
If you don't want women with kids, don't date them. If you don't want to pay 100% of the bills, don't pay them. Stand up and say something. But I don't get the dudes going after and spending 90% of the time dealing with the very things that they complain about daily. I see that in some of the spaces in the conversations and even people in real life. Like here, I just hear more of the conversations. I'm on decent panels and I'm on dust panels. I hear everything. I actually learn a lot more sometimes from the dust panels.
Yeah, I stay away from the dusty world, bro.
I'm built for it. I'm different. I'm different.
Yeah, you are different, brother. I am not built for it, man. You see me dropping out of them panels quick, fast, in a hurry.
Trust me, I understand. I get it. But I don't know. Some people that are mid-ground, they're only one trauma away from sinking and becoming black pill. What more of these chicks doing bad, they done. That separation factor with this gender war is about to go insane. Because you got so many dudes in the middle. 1, 2 more traumas. And it's nothing but trauma mamas out there in the market.
It's definitely rough out there, bro. And again, if you are truly red pill, all that means is you're unplugged and you are aware of how the game is played today. That's it. That's my version of red pill. And that's when I talk to these guys. These guys come to me with the coaching and stuff like that. Like, bro, I don't want to hear about how you got wrecked doing this and how you got wrecked doing that. Of course you did. Right? So now we're just going to talk about the rules of the game and how it works. And I'm going to talk to you about the sexual marketplace and dating. And I'm going to show you how to read body language and all this kind of stuff that you didn't know. Now, this stuff, like, you know, this stuff will work. It's not pick up artistry or anything like that. It's just being observant. This stuff will work. Now, if you don't properly vet your woman, the woman that you chose, if you leave with your wallet, if you go out here and, like you say, don't plan, going like, I'm going to marry her, but you're not going to get a prenup and you own 4 properties, they're all in it. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're going to lose that. If that happens to you, that's on you. And you're right. A lot of these guys get wrecked and then they run to the black pill. All women are bad. All women are trash. And it's like, nah, bro, you trash. You are absolutely trash for not understanding the game you in. Sister Candace, Giselle left that marriage before the ink was dry on the divorce. She was linked to another man far too soon, which leads me to believe she was entertaining him while she and Tom were still married. Yeah, she absolutely was.
Well, women plan their ways out.
Women plan, men react. Shout out to Perry Davis Jr., Cincinnati, Ohio. Men,
they were checked out 2 years. They were divorced. In her mind, she was divorced 2 years ago.
Right. And my buddy Perry.
All the zombie marriages. One person's a zombie, just floating around, going through.
Just floating around. Oh, that's terrible. So, and that's pretty much, that's 50% of marriages, yo. Half of them work, half of them don't. My buddy Perry, he's in the family court business. He's an attorney. He's he used to do criminal law and, he's done all kind of law. But we talk about family law and he tells me this all the time. He says, women plan, men react. Like, men need to start planning. And, and it's to what your point you were saying, when should men start planning? From the very beginning.
Day one. Yeah.
Just like you said, that was some top tier advice. Hey, you dealing with a woman. She has a child, right? You have all these things. You starting to believe that you want to be with her. Okay. You need, like you said, y'all need to have that conversation.
Yeah. And I understand in the middle ground, like I'm 42 now. So much stuff that wasn't taught, that just don't know what to say and when to say it, or what, I can explain it. Certain things about female nature, if you weren't taught, you might just not know. And leaving people out here in this evil market to figure it out is risky. I got a friend who was married. He didn't get burned, thank God. He was married. She had 2 children. She had her own money, came from a good family. So he didn't get burnt financially. But didn't know to have the conversations about the kids. So it's discipline time. They eating at the table, just leave a plate on the table. Like, hey, get back over there. And it's a conversation. It's a conflict. Hey, why are you talking to the kids? Like, he didn't know to have a conversation. He just thought, okay, I'm a man. When we get married, when I'm just fall into play. He didn't know we got to have these conversations ahead of time. Certain stuff like that. And they get divorced. No fault. They worked it out, no bad. But those type of things, not knowing, can actually end up being a real problem just because of how the world is now.
That's real talk. And I think that's you know what? I'm going to start talking about that more often, man, because dudes don't think that stuff. Again, it's the Disney fairy tale, or it's the old school way of thinking, however you want to call it. Yeah. We got married, I'm the man, and it's my rules, my way or the highway. Like, nah, bro, like you said, she got her own bread. That's her child, not your child. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons the red pill says, if you're going to deal with a woman who has kids, they say recreational use only. In other words, y'all just do grown-up stuff. Y'all just be physical. Don't marry that woman. And this is why. Now, I think that they should, I would add what you just said to that caveat. I would just add, have the conversation. If you're going to be with that woman, have that conversation to include, what does discipline look like, when dealing with the children? What's the split going to look like just in case this doesn't work? I think you're onto something, though. I'm going to start pushing that, bro. I got this from Dusto. They ain't gonna take me. What? Scam likely told you that? Man, he trolling. Like, nah,
Yeah, I think,
brother smart.
one thing I like about you and then Black Men, some of the other spaces, y'all leave ground for conversation into the mid ground. And there's an agreement or a disagreement, but it's open minded. It's not you beating somebody over the head with a brick. Don't ever date a single mom. You're going to lose it all. No, this could happen. There's a population of people this happened to. But if that's what you want to do, is, just know what you're doing. That's fairgrounds.
Yeah, it could be great.
I don't
It
knock
could
on
work.
single
Yeah.
moms, but is it a disadvantage? Yes. Let's be real.
Just keep it 100. It's a disadvantage. Just like being short is a disadvantage to men. You know what I mean? And then he had no control over his height. She the one that had the baby. So when I look at that, I'm like, hey, baby, it is what it is. But you're absolutely right. Sister Candace, Brother Dusto, that's why many in this space discourage men from wifing up a single mom. Yep, that's pretty much what I was saying. They discourage it. But I'm going to add that caveat from moving forward. What you just said, bro. I'm like, hey, man, if you decide to do it, you need to have the talk early and often. And then you definitely need that prenup. Shout out to the lead attorneys always talking about, getting prenups. You need that. All that needs to be in place. And if you having these conversations and you're getting pushback from her, then hey, man, that's part of your vetting process. She should know, like you said, it's a disadvantage. And she should also understand that any man in the situation that has stuff is going to want to protect those assets. So she should be willing up front, like, yeah, I'm willing to sign that. As a matter of fact, I got some assets of my own that I want to protect. So I think that's some really good advice. And I think Sister Candace would agree. But generally speaking, stay away from single moms. Generally speaking, if you're a guy, when I was single and I did not have any, well, I'm still single, but when I did not have any children, when I wasn't a single dad, I did not take single moms serious. We did grown up stuff. I treated them with respect and love and admiration like I do all women, but it was She's like, oh, can we take it to the next step? I'm like, there's no next step. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I don't have any kids. You got kids. I'm not raising your children. And I mean, it was a bitter pill, but I let them know this is what it is.
Yeah, I'm a little different. Most of the women I dated, there was one single mom. She was married prior. She did fight for all the boxes to go with it. She planned her kids. She fought for her marriage. And she treated me like a king. And she saw me as the man that she wanted her ex-husband to be. She checked so many other boxes that I was honestly should have taken it all the way on. And she went on and got married to somebody else. But I know that's a rare breed. Most of the rest of them, they ain't talking about that.
They ain't talking about that at all.
They don't date single moms because best woman I ever dated was one.
Yes. And I mean, yes.
I'm not going to advise men to go shop in the single mom department. Now, I mean, if everything else is closed and they open and you happen to see something, yeah, I get it. But
it's something on that. Brother Roman's in the house. What's good, Brother Roman? Yo, bro, were you in Miami, bro? Were you down there? I don't think so, man. And if you were and you didn't hit me up, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm mad. I'm mad. I don't think you were there though, bro. But when I didn't have any kids, I did not take single mom serious, bro. There was no way I would get into a serious relationship with a single mom. You know what I mean? We would again, and when they say recreational use only, when I hear that, I'm not taking it in a negative way. They're basically just saying grown up business only. We're just gonna do the physical, whatever. And it's not like you creeping, sneaking in the middle of the night, coming over there and sliding out. Nah. Like I would hang out with, single moms, and we would do things, like take them out to dinner or whatever. But I was never like, hey, you want to come with me and Johnny to the zoo? No. You want to come to the movie with me and little Jillian? No. You know what I mean? Can I bring the kids over to your house with your mom and dad and your family? No. I wasn't doing any of that. No, that's not. We do grown-up stuff only. Recreational use only. Now, once I had a child, it changed. For me, it changed. Like, okay, well, I'm a single dad. If I meet a single mom, that's what led me to the red pill. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm in Trinidad. Oh, you in Trinidad, bro. I wish I were with you, man. Send me some pictures, cuz. Hey, Brother Roman, send me some pictures. Man, oh man, I know what's going on down there. Woo. So that's my take on it, man. So let's wrap this up, bro. I'm glad you came on. I don't know why I didn't think just to hit you up to do the show anyway. I've been wanting to do a show with you, bro. Like I said, we get away from the craziness, can actually sit down and have a conversation, bro. Because we hang out, bro, and when you do a lot of stuff, you move in a way that's very unplugged. It's very like you understand these things. I know you don't claim the red pill, but you move like a very unplugged dude. I'm gonna start calling you the agent.
Yeah, I just don't claim the title of red pill because, world class is big on words and the real meanings. I'm big on implied meanings. Like when you say a word, what is it somebody hears? Not just what you say, but what is it they actually hear? And a lot of people, when they hear red pill, they think something else. Just like if you talk about marriage and you say the word partnership, technically marriage is a partnership. You can be senior, it can be 99%, 1%. It could be, but when you say partnership in these panels, they think 50-50, you a simp, That's why I don't say red pill. Now, I believe in having the awareness, but I also believe in planning and trying to make the best decision possible. Like if you're a leader, you're supposed to be the person of influence. Understand that women are emotional people, and that's something that you want out of them. Let's be real. I mean, you want femininity, it's going to come with a lot of emotion. They're going to want you to be a leader. So you got to be able to make a plan and make a decision and communicate. But yeah.
That's real talk, man. That's real talk, bro, because, hey, y'all, it ain't the way we was raised to believe it was. And I'm talking about this dating game. It has changed a lot in the past 12 to 15 years with technology, with Instagram, with social media. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's a different world out here now. You need to get up to speed, men. Women are already up to speed, and they are running laps around everybody. And I'm not saying that as a dish to women. They're just socially smarter and more savvy than the average guy. So men, definitely get into the gym. You know what I mean? Stay in shape, stay healthy, get out there and work. Go out there and work very hard, make a name for yourself, and women will come. The byproduct of success is women. Period, bro. Period. The confidence that you need, you can glean, you can work on confidence just like you can work on your body. Right? So be smart with your money. Don't be afraid to have fun, but understand, you know what I mean, what you're looking for in women. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna give Brother Dusto his final thoughts. These dudes out here, they're not honest with themselves. Most of the guys in the red pill space that I have bumped into, they want a woman. They want a relationship. But they come into the red pill space talking about, I want to be a player. I want to learn game. I want to spin plates. And it's not true. They're lying to themselves. And when they lie to themselves, they get wrecked. Right? If you're not honest with yourself, if you don't know yourself, you cannot succeed. Right? And that goes all the way back to Sun Tzu, the art of war. Know yourself, know your enemy. If you don't know yourself and you don't know your enemy, you have 100 battles and you'll lose 100 times. Right? So you got to know yourself, gentlemen. Got to know yourself. I'll leave you with your with final thoughts, Brother Dusto. Man, let's pull up that final thoughts banner. You know what I mean? Brother Dusto, what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. What's going to separate you from the next man? And to be honest, you're not really competing against other men. You should be competing with yourself, the person you were yesterday. There's your key right there. This was up here from 2022. I erased it December. And that's 2023. 2022, I set a whole bunch of goals. I met about 70, 80% of them. About 80%. Along with those goals was activities. Which some of it I'm still working on, but expectations, activities, and it comes with some damn action. Do the work to become the person that you're supposed to be. You ain't got to get it 100%, but if you don't shoot at all and you're just the same dude, you're just getting older, that's just more time that you've been doing being the same person. At the end of the day, however old you are, you got a certain amount of years to account for how long you've been out here. Have something to show for it. Have a plan, stick with it, push forward. Eventually, you'll have 5 other people that got the same thing sitting in their living room. You can build with those people. I'm going to leave it at that.
Where can they find you, bro?
I can be found in the Dustosphere. The Dustosphere is Thursday, 7 p.m., 30-minute improv-style comedy show. But let's face it, a lot of people just don't listen. A lot of people miserable and angry, they need a laugh. They actually need some women or need a man. But since they ain't getting that, they might as well come over and have a laugh. But it's on Black Men Unfiltered Network, the Dustosphere. Other than that, you'll find me on DL Saints platform sometimes in the chat, trolling, clowning. Black Men Unfiltered Network, Sir Hill, a lot of the brother networks to DL Saint. Or you can find me, but I mean that's a little different. Or in the gym.
Or in the gym, that's what. Or at, like you said, the salsa spot, bro. You see, y'all didn't notice about Brother Dusto, but he be out there dancing with them Latinas, bro, making it happen, man. So thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you always coming through, supporting, bro. Like I really do, man. And I'll see you Friday, right?
Yeah, I should be there. It's got to
be there.
I got to be able to stay awake, and I get out there.
You know what I'm saying? We'll have a place to sit and everything, bro. This is going to be the first. It'll be the first big one for 2023, man. So I'm going to holler at you later, bro.
Cool. Peace out.
Peace. Yo, that's my man Dusto right there, man. Let's give him one more hand. That's making it happen. Brother Roman, I'll be in Colombia soon. Bro, make sure you go to Medellin. I don't know where you're going in Colombia, but make sure you stop in Medellin. You want to go to Pacalejeres. Bro, I'm telling you, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Give me 5 years, I'll have property down there, man. I'll be right down there. It's one of my favorite places on planet Earth. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not just because the women are beautiful, man, but that's one of the places I can go and I can walk around and people don't see me as a big, scary black man. You feel me? I'm just another human walking around. And once I get my Spanish on point, hell, they won't know where I'm from. So, and I know that sounds weird, but it is what it is, man. Like we'll talk about that at a later date. So yeah, man, what Brother Dusto said, man, do the work. Shout out to Rich Cooper. He says this all the time. And I'm going to tell Brother Dusto, man, he needs to check out some of Rich Cooper's content. Entrepreneurs in Cars. Brother Dusto, like Entrepreneurs in Cars, man, you should check out some of Rich Cooper's stuff. I think that you align with him really well, bro. Even in y'all delivery. He doesn't troll or anything like that, but I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what you think of his content, man. Check him out. Entrepreneurs in Cars, Unplugged Alpha. Yeah, check him out, y'all. Rich Cooper, real cool cat. I can't say enough good things about him. So yeah, man. So that's it. That's the show we got for today, man. Like, talking about Tom Brady. Let's sit back and see what he does. I don't think that he should remarry his ex. I don't think he should remarry at all. That's just my personal opinion. Don't know if he's going to play one more season or not. And I don't know what he's going to do reference his family, but we shall stay tuned and see. But, it gave us a pretty good, good hour and a half of content that we could just talk about Tom and, learn from his miscues and his missteps and move forward, yo. So, I'm working on a thumbnail now. I'll be back today at 6 p.m. And I'm not quite sure what the show is going to be about. It might be some political stuff, but look for the thumbnail, y'all. I should have it up in about an hour or so because I'm kind of tossed between what I want to talk about. I think it's going to be political, what Biden is doing with the ATF and how they're trying to make these rules and have some de facto gun legislation. What they're doing with, right now, there's some rules that the ATF is making that's going to outlaw a bunch of styles of stocks on certain types of weapons, which is not cool. We're going to definitely do that. Brother Kent with the Cash App, man. 1 for 34, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate every single dollar. And y'all know we can also super chat now. So, we're fully monetized. It's good stuff. But yeah, we're going to do a little something political today. I want to talk about, it's going to be politics. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Biden administration. We're going to talk about how America is slowly changing to where all the power rests with the executive through executive orders coming out of the White House versus actually coming up with laws and Congress doing their job. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about, y'all. Look for the thumbnail. That's going to be Downrange Podcast today, 6 o'clock. Make sure y'all here to check that out. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much, brother and brother Dusto's like, yeah, he knows who Rich Cooper is. Haven't listened to him in a while, though. Yeah, check him out, bro. Sister Candace, when are you having a conversation about these documents? We're going to do it tonight. There you go. We're going to talk about the documents. We're going to talk about what's going on with the ATF. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it tonight. Let's make it happen. The Democrats have been pretty quiet, but now they're starting to make some noise, and they're up to no good. The no gooders. The Democrats. Republicans are up to no good as well. So y'all know how I feel about it. They all about to pay for about a 1%. Smoke and mirrors, y'all. That's all it is. Smoke and mirrors. So let's talk about what's going on with the documents. I'm going to give y'all a little teaser. President Biden is wrong, just as wrong as President Trump was for having those documents on his person and away from the secure area. That is a problem. We're going to talk about that tonight. Look for the thumbnail. It should be up in about 15, 20 minutes. 6 p.m. right here. Downrange Podcast, which is up under I Really Want to Know Podcast, which is what you're watching right now. It's just Downrange Podcast is talking all politics, whereas I Really Want to Know talks about everything else. So thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank y'all. I hope 2023 is going good on y'all end. Like I said, it always starts the same with me. I got kicked in the face. But now that that's over, it's time to get it. I'm going to keep doing the work. I'm going to make things happen. You know what I mean? So thank y'all so much, man. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to talk to y'all later tonight, 6 p.m. right here. Be there. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.